All right, now that we know precisely the position of the neutral line, we can check if the reinforcing steel is going to yield. Okay, this is a very important step. Remember that we check this based on the position of the neutral line and the distance d using this equation here. First of all, we need to remember the deformation of yielding. Deformation of yielding is always the steel strength divided by the modulus of elasticity of the steel. The steel strength is a 60 ksi steel, and the modulus of elasticity, usually from steel, reinforcing steel, is 29,000. So just to remember, this is going to be 60 divided by 29,000, around 0.00207, around. Divided by 1,000, 1, 2, 3, 207 per 1,000. Okay. And here, the reinforcing steel, we have this equation, D minus C divided by C times ECU. So the ultimate strain of concrete is usually 0.003, which is about 3 over 1,000. Calculating this, we have D. In this case, D, the exercise gave us already. As you can see here, is 24.5 inches. Is exactly in the middle because we have 3 bars on the first layer and 3 bars on the top layer, which is the second layer. I will show you guys the Excel spreadsheet that I made, and in which we can calculate this position D1 here in a very easy way. Okay. We just need to address the height of the sections and the reinforced steel areas. Okay, this 24.5 24.5 minus C all this divided by 8.36 times 3 over 1,000. Let me just see if I got the, yeah, it's right. All right, so calculating here, we have 24.5 minus 8.36. This divided by 8.36 times 3. So around 5.71 over 1,000. Okay, so as you can see here, we determined that the reinforcing steel is going to yield because of the deformation. The reinforcing steel is over the deformation of yielding. So we're good. And the last part of this exercise, knowing that the steel is going to yield, is just to calculate the bending moment resistance. And this is based on the force of the sections times its lever arms. Here we did not calculate the force CW, but the force CW is this guy here. From previous equations, it's this guy here. So it's very easy to identify. So FCW has to be 203.2 minus 102 because these forces need to be in equilibrium. Okay, 203, 283, sorry, 0.2 minus 102. 1812, keep. Okay, and the lever arms, they are these equations here. So D minus HF, D minus A2. Let's just put them here to make it easier to multiply. So ZCF and ZCW. D minus HF over 2. And this is going to be D minus 8 over 2. Sorry. Sorry, guys. I'm having very bad allergies today. So I have 24.5 minus. So CF is 5. Sorry, HF is 5 over 2. And this guy A here is 7.10. All right. So calculating here, we have 24.5 minus 5 over 2, which is 2.5, of course. So here we have 22, and here we have 24.5 minus 7.1 over 2, 49.5 inches. Okay, and finally, the bending moment, which is what we are looking for in this exercise, is going to be the forces FCF times ZCF plus the force CW times its lever arm. The force FCF, it's 102. 102 times 22 plus the other one, which is the force of the width of the beam, 101, 181 time 0.2 times 20.95. All right. Let's calculate here. 102 times 22 plus 1081.2 times 20.95. All right, it's around 6,040.4. This is in kip inches. To put this in kip feet, we need to divide by 12. So we just divide here by 12. You would have 503.34 kip feet. Okay. All right, guys. So this is exercise was quite simple. It's a very simple to follow this guide through. I hope you liked it. What I'm going to do now is to show you guys my design spreadsheet. We know these results beforehand, so we just can put it here. So from the previous lessons, we saw that we used this spreadsheet to calculate singly reinforced beams, doubly reinforced beams, and now I'm going to show you guys how to calculate with the flanged beams. Here I put also this thing that I talked to you guys before, which is the position of the center of gravity of the reinforcing steels from the bottom part of the beam. So here you can put the information of the bar numbers in 5 different layers. If you want, you can increase this much. And the number of bars. And here the distance from the bottom part to the center of gravity of that layer. Here, as you can see, every layer is going to be designed with one type of bar. Usually in design, we try never to use different cross-section reinforcements in one layer. For example, 2 number 10s with a number 8, because it is very tricky to follow in construction site, and thus it's very simple to use just one single layers of the same types of reinforcing steel. Okay. So in this exercise, we have number 8 bar, number 8 bar. I'm just put anyone here. And then we have 3 bars on the first layer and 3 bars on the second layer, as you can see from the example. So here, 6 number 8 bars. I assume that the distance from the first distance was 1.5 and the second one was 5.5. Which gives the distance d equals to 3.5, exactly like the exercise. Now we go there and we're just going to put this information. So the section height was from the flange, I think was 18, right? No, it's 5 inches. So here just going to put 5 inches. The BE was 18. The width of the beam was 10 inches, I guess, 10 inches. And the height of the section, the total height was 28. Here, 28. And then the distance D1 is 3.5, which gives us the distance D, 24.5 as per the exercise. Here the exercise said it's a 3000 psi of concrete, and the type of steel is a 60 KSI steel. We have on the layers, we have number 8 bars and we have 6 bars. Okay, so the cross-section area of reinforcing is 4.71, just like the exercise. And here, this is what the exercise does. The spreadsheet, sorry, first calculates the A, the section, the distance A for a rectangle section, which gives us a 6.16 as we did in the exercise, and then tells us it's a T section. And then calculates the forces of the section, so the T, the force CF, and the force CW, 102 and 180.72. It is an approximation since we are actually calculating the cross-section areas without any error. And then calculates um, the real position of the neutral line, which is A34, and calculates A based on the equilibrium. And then calculates the deformation of the reinforcing steel, 5.8. I think our exercise was 5.7 something, almost 5.8, so it's very similar. Then designs the bending moment based on the lever arms as we did it. So I think I made a mistake here. It's 22. No, I got it right. Yeah, 22 and 20.96. There is 20.95. So they're like just slightly different numbers, but overall it's quite good. And then the bending moment based on the keep feet. Okay. So yeah, just like as did in our exercise, the value was very, very similar. And I think this is a completely success. You can get this Excel spreadsheet, just answer in an email. I will give the information here down below. And here are the other informations that we talked throughout this class with the information of the T section whenever we have a rectangle section or a T sections and the design equations. So everything in this spreadsheet, I hope you have liked it. And also, if you want to check if the T sections can also be used to design a rectangle section, is the same thing. From the previous lessons, we designed a section which was 60 by 30, 4,000 psi. So we can put this information here. It's going to give us the same thing. Since this is a rectangle section now, I will put this 0, and BE has to be equals to BF. So 30, 30, 30. The cross-section height is 60. Okay, so distance D1 in exercise was 2.64. And then the area of steel was a 4,000 psi concrete, grade 60 steel, 4,000, grade 60. And the section had 5 number 10 bars. So 5 number 10 bars. All right, so here it tells us it's a rectangle section, of course, with the A 3.73, exact like the simply reinforced beam. Deformation steel 0.0363, 0.63, almost 63, and the bending moment capacity 1,757. 1757. So it's exactly the same. So as you can see, this spreadsheet also not only designs the real T section, but also designs um, regular rectangle sections. Lastly, guys, the book also, our textbook also tells us the information about if we would want to design a section, which is right here. Okay. If we want to also add compressive steel in the T section, working in positive bending, for example, you have tension reinforcements, AS, and let's assume you would also have some compressive reinforcements. So as you have seen so far in these classes, you can do the same equation considering all the forces of the section. You would have the T force. If this would be a T section, you would have both the force from the flange and the force from the width. And also you would have a force called here CS. So it would be the compressive force of the steel. You would have to consider also this part. This isn't a big deal to design in Excel spreadsheet. You would have to follow the guide design guides that we have done so far. But I would not recommend you to do that because it's very unlikely that you're going to uh, design a section like this, because most of the time when you also have a compressive force, this the position of the neutral line gets very, very close to the top part. So most of the time it's always going to be a rectangle section. So it makes no sense to calculate the flanged section. So most of the time this is going to happen, so you don't have to be worried about it. Guys, I hope you like this lesson so far. Please like and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us if you guys can share this information. I will uploading more videos about the design of reinforced concrete sections. So please check our future videos, and thank you so much for your attention.